What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? This is Renebean and welcome to another awesome episode of live video game hunting. This is that series where I show you all the cool stuff I've gotten through the week through yard sales, garage sales, flea markets. I go to thrift stores like Goodwill and Salvation Army, and I use apps like LetGo, OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook, whatever I can use to get my hands on some awesome games at some excellent prices. Make sure you stick through to the end of the video because not only are we going to go over everything on a one-on-one level, as well as anything you didn't see on camera, but we're also going to announce the winner to the weekly contest giveaway. If you want to be entered, the rules are simple. All you got to do is obviously be subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, and if you want some extra credit, share this video and leave a comment down below, hopefully something positive. And also, I got to give you guys a big bit of news regarding this channel, so make sure you stick through to the end of that so you can actually see the news I got to tell you guys. All the links can be found in the description. You got links to my Instagram if you ever want to see some of this stuff kind of earlier. You got any questions? You got links to my eBay store because I always give my subscribers good deals. Links to my Twitch channel if you ever want to hear me bitch at a video game. That's the place to do it. And there's also information regarding my P.O. box if you ever wanted to send me anything, because for whatever reason some of you guys out there do, and that completely honors me. You don't have to. I'm not asking for it, but the option is there. That's all I got to say, guys. Sit back and relax. Let's shekel up.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone had an awesome week of hunting, and if you had some really good scores, please let me know in the comments below the stuff you found. I always love hearing what you guys got to say. So here we are with the first pickup of the week, and now this was a late in the week pickup too. This was like a Wednesday or Thursday. For whatever reason, I just did not have the greatest luck all week. Now obviously we did towards the end of the week, otherwise there wouldn't be an episode, but for the first half of this week I was really struggling to get some good finds, and luckily this one came through. So this one here was a Facebook posting. The guy listed a picture of Wii games. It said $5 per game. The more you get, the better the deal is going to be, which is how it should be with any situation like this. There was nothing too crazy with the Wii titles. There was games, you know, there was like Super Mario Galaxy, which was already gone whenever I messaged them. That one and Kirby's Epic Yarn, like you'll see right here. Here's the two main games that caught my eye, obviously, for resale value. And then there's going to be games that I'm going to be able to keep for my collection, which is the best part of it. But anytime you see any games listed, no matter what it is, Xbox, PlayStation, it could be something brand new, it could be Xbox One, PlayStation 4, always ask, do you got any other games? And start giving them the list. You got GameCube, 64, NES, and this guy came through, nothing particularly too old, but he did come through with some PlayStation 2 games and a few PlayStation 1 games, which I was able to get from him. And for those of you who cannot tell, this is through the eyes of Miss Renebean. I had her meet this guy. I was tied up, and luckily she was available to do it, which was really good. I got these 10 games, and all I paid was $35. He just said, shoot me an offer, and I said 30, I think, initially, and then he rebutted with 35, which was a great deal, because a few games I'll be able to sell. And I don't think I'll recoup, you know, the complete cost or make anything on top of it, but I'm going to get a lot of good games for my collection at a very cheap price, and that's, you know, one of the big things about it. And you'll notice that a few of these games have a few more scratches than I'd be happy with, but like I said, I got that disc researcher. The thing works excellent. I'm not worried about that. I can always take the chance and buy in games because I know that I got a really good chance of getting them to work again. And I know that I got a lot of you out there wanting me to make a video of the disc researcher, and I do plan on doing that. It's just I haven't gotten around to it. But I promise you I will in the future make a video showing you how that thing works, and it performs miracles. I can't explain it enough, but the thing is absolutely amazing, worth every penny I put into it. So just a little recap here, we got 10 awesome games and I only paid $35 for. I'll be able to sell 2 or 3 games and recoup majority of that cost because I need to keep the other games for my collection. So I'm not going to break even on this, but that's okay because I'm getting some excellent games at an excellent deal. And that's what it's about. Making money just happens to come second. If I can make games for my collection, I'm happy. So the next sale here is through the eyes of the wonderful Miss Renebean, and you see right away she pulls out a copy of Wii Sports for $1.50, and she also pulls out a copy of Link's Crossbow Training. She didn't realize that that game is not worth much, but she only paid $1.50 for it. Anytime you're out in the wild, always pick up your Wii Sports and your Wii Sports Resorts. Those are great bundlers, and they still sell on average from like $10 to $15 a piece, so don't be scared to pick those up. Believe it or not, they are overlooked all the time, and they are definitely ones that I'm always quick to swoop down and get whenever they're left behind. So this right here is going to be my favorite pickup of the week. It may not be nothing special to you, but to me it's very awesome. This is the Gamester Radica original Xbox controller right here. Super awesome. Pretty damn uncommon. You never see these things out in the wild. Now, I don't get this case open because I had to use my phone. I don't have my glasses, and I didn't want the guy to see that I was filming. But you will see this in the pickups. This thing is absolutely awesome. I paid $9 for it. It's like holding two guns the way it's shaped. Very cool, super uncommon. You just don't see these things. I know they made one for the PlayStation 2, but you know that I am a huge collector of the original Xbox, so I was very happy about this pickup. So this pickup right here was a side-of-the-road freestyle that I actually almost missed this one, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. It's crazy how good your peripherals can be driving down the road, because sometimes you'll catch a sign that you had no idea was even there, but your brain said there was something in the corner of your eye, so you jet back around and you usually find that there is something there. And that was the case with this one right here. I come across this sale. They didn't have anything out initially, and I asked about it, and they said there's some sort of game system somewhere, and I actually found this for them before they actually unboxed it. It was a PlayStation 2, nothing crazy. It is the slim model, and it had a PlayStation 1 controller. It wasn't the PlayStation 2, unfortunately, but it did have all the hookups. I asked them how much they wanted. I ended up getting this thing for $10. That's the most I'm willing to pay for a PlayStation 2, as long as it's a slim model. They move a whole lot easier, and they usually weigh a whole lot less if you happen to ship it, but it wasn't a bad pickup for $10. And of course, the whole time that I'm untangling these cords, which I hate doing, I am not a fan of untangling cords. I'm not good at it. I don't have the patience for it. This is where the wonderful Miss Renebean comes into play if she happens to be beside me, but I was there by myself, so I had to man up and do this by myself. But while I'm doing this, I'm asking them, I'm saying, hey, do you got any other video games? Like I always tell you guys to do, always ask them. And this was a group of gals, they all lived together, but they were, you know, middle-aged. It doesn't matter what age they are. Ask them no matter what. And of course, one of them eventually said, you know what, I think I got one or two more games in the house that I haven't brought out yet. And I'd say this group of ladies here was somewhere between like 30 and 40 years old, not old or anything, and they happen to have something. But I've had situations where I've had 60, 70-year-olds bring out games. Like I always say, ask no matter what. You would be completely surprised. And of course, you're going to ask on the younger crowds. I always make sure I ask, and I got lucky on this one. Now, obviously, the next pickup wasn't crazy that I got from them, but had I not asked, I wouldn't have gotten it all. So after she goes in and hunts around a little bit, she does come out with a copy of Final Fantasy 13 for the Xbox 360. Hello, it's not a game I don't have, so of course I'm going to pick it up. It was only $3, so I was happy to pay it. Did not bother me. At first, I was like, oh shit, it's missing some disc here. I didn't pay attention because it said disc 1. I always check that because if a game takes multiple discs, they're all going to be labeled disc 1, 2, or 3, but they had them all there, and I paid $3 for it, so it was a good pickup. So this next sale here was a little bit bittersweet. When I get there, of course, you know, I'm asking, do you got any games? Because normally when they see me, they typically ask me what I'm looking for because I had that dumbass look on my face because I got these weird-looking glasses on my face. But she asked me, and of course I give her the list of games, and she says, well, I think there's a DS game over there that's never been opened, and it's some Mario game, so of course we're hunting for that, and we did not find it, unfortunately. But while looking around for that game, I do come across these two duffel bags. One was brand new, still had the tags, and the other one was still in just as good a condition. They were these Super Mario Galaxy 2 duffel bags. I've never seen them. For both of them, I think I paid like $5 for the pair. It was a pretty cool pickup. I can sell one and I can keep one, which is the way it always should be right there. So I was very happy about it. There was a guy there that said there was a box full of games in the shed, but his damn ass didn't want to go in there and get them. I don't understand that about people. Go inside and make some money, but he didn't want to do it, but I was still happy with this pickup. So majority of the footage you're going to see from this pickups video is going to come from this particular pickup right here. The backstory on this one is it listed that it had video games and some Xbox and some PlayStation 2 games, just your run-of-the-mill games. And Mrs. Renebean happened to get there first because I was on the other side of the town, and she called me and said, hey, this is definitely worth stopping by. And she got there first, and she went through all the games, and she pulled out what she thought was the better games or games that I did not have. Now, when I pulled up, now this is me filming, of course, I'm the one with the glasses, but when I pulled up, initially, the first thing that I thought was, damn, I know these people. They used to sell at the flea market, and at first, I was completely disappointed. I was like, damn, this is going to be a terrible shekel right here, but actually, it turned out to be very awesome, because they no longer sell at the flea market, and they just wanted to get rid of this stuff, and all they pulled out so far was their PlayStation 2 and Xbox stuff, but these people got a whole bunch of cartridge-based stuff, and when my wife called me, she said these games are $3 a piece. When I got there, that $3 turned into $2. And by the end of it, I actually ended up getting, I think, 25 games, and I paid $45 for it altogether. And you'll see that I get some really awesome titles out of all this. Now, I'm super curious to see what games I passed up on that you guys are going to let me know in the comments and say, hey, you should have got that game, it's worth $10,000. And that happens. I'm really good with the original Xbox collection, I like to think in my mind. And of course, there's going to be games that I miss. I'm really unfamiliar with the PlayStation 2's library. So I'm sure there's going to be games here that I should have picked up, and for whatever reason I just left them because my knowledge is not as big as a lot of people think. I can't just pull out my phone while I'm sitting here with them 4 foot away and start looking up prices or looking up how rare a game is. And keep in mind, I know for a fact a lot of these games weren't extremely rare or uncommon. They had all these games individually priced in their store for the most part, so they're going to go in and they're going to pull out all the games that they had at a high dollar, and I'm sure they're going to flip them on eBay. Now, some of these games are not labeled, and that's where I feel that I've gotten the better deal out of all this. So like I said, I ended up with 25 games, and I'm probably going to sell 5 to 8 of them, and I'm going to keep the rest because I found a whole lot that I get to keep from my collection. And as we all know, that's the #1 goal of collecting, is filling your shelves rather than filling everyone else's. And I already know a lot of you out there are going to be like, man, you should have picked up this game and that game and this game, even if they're not expensive games, is because it's games that you need for your collection. Keep in mind, when I saw all these games right here, the first thought that came in my head is, oh, I'm going to get some great stock from my shelves right here, not your shelves. I understand completely that there are a lot of games here that you'll see that you probably need, but I'm still going to hear it in the comments that says, man, you should have picked up that game, that's a good game, or that's a good game. I got majority of these games already. If you see me pass it up, keep in mind, a lot of these games are $5 games. They're not even worth me picking up to flip, so I'm going to leave a lot of them behind. Now, she did offer to sell me all these games in one package deal. She said $500, and I'm pretty damn sure I could have shekelled somewhere around $300 to $350 if I had to, but I didn't want to. Like I said, there was not a lot of games in here that were really worth my time at picking up. It's a lot of common stuff you're going to see. Now, that would have been an excellent deal for someone who's just starting out collecting and they really want to get a lot of inventory quick for their shelves. That would have been absolutely prime for it. But for me, like I said, this main stop right here was just to fill up my shelves with games that I did not have. And it worked out. So like I said, $45 for 25 games. That's like a $1.80 for each game. That is an excellent yard sale, garage sale price right there. And that's what really shocked the hell out of me about the whole situation, is because I dealt with these people for years and they were such dicks to deal with when it came to buying stuff from them. Now, they were very nice and they would work deals with you, but you know, their prices were right at eBay or above, and you'll see a lot of this stuff is priced higher than what it should be if you can zoom in and see the actual tags on some of this stuff. So if you were in their shop and you saw a game that was $10, you'd probably come out with, you know, a $7 or $8 purchase, you know, which is a good deal, but man, they would charge high dollar for some of this stuff. And that's one of the things that just surprised me, is that they were letting all this stuff go for so cheap. Now, I don't know the story of why they do not sell at the flea market no more. Maybe they just weren't doing well. Like, you got to keep in mind, if you're charging those high dollar prices, it's got to be somewhere like at a convention where there's just the traffic that can actually demand such a price. Where this shop was located, the traffic was not there. They didn't keep the shop that clean. It was not a good environment to have the type of business that they were having. And keep that in mind, that this flea market charged a pretty good bit for rent when it came to selling on the inside, because it's like any flea market. You're going to have an indoor area for vendors who want a permanent location, and then you're going to have the outside area, which is the best area for finding games, because that's where, you know, the people who come and set up on the weekends, they may come to the flea market once or twice a year to sell. And it's basically, all a flea market is a concentrated yard sale, and it's a yard sale for people who don't want to have a yard sale in their own yard. They can come to a flea market and they can collaborate and make this big, huge sale, and that's going to drive a lot of traffic. And that's the big selling point of wanting to sell at a flea market, is you know that it's going to drive foot traffic in. While a yard sale, people don't realize that most yard sales, they don't get that much foot traffic. Especially those shitty sales that you hear me bitching about in one of my sucky side videos, the ones that just don't advertise well, or they just go about making a sale entirely wrong. And people just really don't realize that there is not that much traffic when it comes to a yard sale. If it's not planned properly, don't expect to get that many sales. It's kind of sad sometimes when you walk up on these yard sales and you see that it's a really nice yard sale. It had potential to really make a lot of money, but they just went about planning it entirely wrong. But anyways, that's why I feel they no longer sell at the flea market. The rent was just too high and they weren't making enough money to pay the rent, which makes sense because if they're charging just as much as it costs to rent a house and you're not making that in profit each month, then obviously the smart thing to do is no longer sell there anymore, and that's obviously the case in this situation, which I feel was the right assumption. It worked out in my favor. I was able to get a whole bunch of games. It sucks to see them go, but at the same time, it's less competition that I got to deal with at this particular flea market. Now, I haven't seen them all year hunting, but they did used to go last year, and I would see them every morning out there hunting as well. They would get there a little bit later, so I always had that advantage of being there early. God, I got to tell you, people, today was the worst day when it came to going to the flea market. That's why you don't see any flea market footage this week, is because there were probably, I want to say, 15 hunters or resellers, because you can be either both, one or the other. It doesn't matter. If you're a collector, I guarantee you resell games. You can't say that you don't. If you trade them, you're trading them for the same value that you see them sold for. I don't want to get into it. But anyways, there were so many vultures out there. Now that's what I call them. Everybody's got their own name for it. I say vultures, and it's just anyone who's competition to me from getting what I want to get. But man, they were out there. They were just swarming everywhere, man. And I gave up. I was just like, man, you know what? It's not even worth it. And it was kind of a good thing because I thought to myself, you know what? If everybody is here, then no one's going to be out at the yard sales, and that's where I had all my luck, was at yard sales. And I already know, I don't want to mention it, but I'm going to have to mention it anyways, is I'm going to get that comment that says you can't talk about sharks or vultures or resellers or whatever it may be because that's what you're doing. And you know what, people? You're absolutely right. You don't get a collection like I got by simply passing up a big box of Nintendo games because you already have them. Oh no, you're going to pick them up and flip them, and then you're going to make a little bit of extra money so you can get more games for your collection. It is the smart thing to do. We all do it. If you say that you are not a reseller, you have never resold a game, I highly doubt that. You're going to be one of those people who pick them up. And you could be that one rare occasion where it says, you know what, I don't sell games. I just trade them with my buddies or at a convention. Well, guess what you're going to do? You're going to trade them for the same monetary value that the game sells for. And you know where you're going to check your listings from to see what that game sells for? Just take a wild guess. It's eBay. And you know, you might even rebuttal. You say, oh, I don't use eBay. I use video game price charting. Well, I got some good news for you on that one. That's where they get majority of their information, is sites like Amazon and eBay. So it's all such a huge hypocrisy when it comes to reselling games. We all do it in some form, some way or another. It does not matter. The argument is ridiculous, man. And you know, I think that's why a lot of you guys out there support my channel, and that's why this channel is growing the way it is because I'm not scared to say that. I resell games and I collect games. Big whoop. That's how I get the collection that I have. I'm not scared to admit that, and I think these videos help a lot of you guys out there because you're learning how to do the same thing, and you're realizing that, hey, I don't have to go blow this paycheck that I got on video games to grow a collection. I can just go out and do a little bit of hustle, and guess what? The games are starting to flow in, and it's a wonderful thing. There's a lot of things that determine the value of a game, and I don't think a lot of people really think about this, but you got to keep in mind, there's so many factors when it comes to actually pricing a game. There's things like if the game's a rare game, if it was, released in limited, runs, or it came out at the end of a console's life, it may be a rare game, it's going to demand a higher value. I think that was the case with Little Samson, which is what makes it so high dollar, is it was released right at the end of the Nintendo's lifespan, so it wasn't bought that much. It wasn't that it was not a good game, because from what I hear, Little Samson is an amazing game. Hopefully I'm going to get my hands on it one day and I don't have to resort to an emulator. There's also other factors to where if the game's actually fun, that's going to demand a high price game, like Crash Bandicoot. It's not a rare game. People may say it's rare, the ones who are not educated, but it's not. It's very common, but it's a fun game, so it's going to demand a higher price. And then those two elements can intermingle in a positive or negative way, and you can find that a sucky game, it just so happens to be rare, is going to be expensive, while a really good game, and it's not rare at all, can be very cheap. It's a weird spectrum, but that's how it works with this thing. But the other factor that's going to also demand partial of that price that you're paying for that game is the Git Factor. And yeah, I came up with that term, but it's the best term that I feel can describe the situation. And what the Git Factor is the fact that I'm the one getting up at 5 in the morning, going all over town and finding these games, while you're the one who's getting on the couch and being completely butt naked, covered in Cheetos, hopping on eBay and finding games that way. That is the Git Factor. I'm the one getting them. You may not be the one who's necessarily getting them. And I think that's going to also demand part of the price for hunting. And I'm sure a lot of you out there can agree with that. So yeah, I may go out in the mornings and I may find me an N64 complete in box and I may get it for 20 bucks. And guess what? I'm going to turn around and I'm going to resell that N64 for $100. You know why? Because I'm the one that got it. I think a lot of you out there can agree with that. The Git Factor is a big deal. If you want to get this stuff, then get your ass up in the morning and go find the stuff. It is not hard. I've had people message me and say, you know what, I'm the person who gets to these things late. I'm the one who goes there at, 10 or 12 in the afternoon. Well, guess what? You're not going to find things that way. Now, sure, you might get lucky here and there, but if you want to be the one who gets scores like this, then definitely work that Git Factor into your life. The price of these games are only worth what people are willing to pay for. So if you hop on eBay right now and you see Super Mario Bros. 3, I don't know how much it's selling for. That game fluctuates more than anything I know. Somewhere between 15 and 20 bucks. And you click on the sold listings and you see that it sold, the last sold listing was $17 with free shipping. Well, guess what? That game's worth $17, and you want to know why? Because people are willing to pay for that game. It may not necessarily be a jacked market where the person inflated it, because you'll probably see Super Mario Bros. 3 on there listed for $30 from some dickhead who really is trying to inflate the market. While majority of us out there, we're just selling this stuff for what it's worth. I never list my games higher than what it sells for. A lot of you already know by checking my eBay store that I do really good deals. And of course, with these subscribers, I always give you better deals than what you see on the stuff that I have listed, which is already listed low. And I know that I'm bitching and ranting about this subject, but every time I release one of these videos, that's the biggest negative side of doing these videos. And I'm not going to stop, because I got too many of you out there who support what I do, and you're awesome for it. But the negative side is to hear those salty people, and the people that I hear are the ones that I think they're the ones who's not getting up in the morning. They don't have that Git Factor. They're salty that they can't do what we do, and we are the real hunters, and they're upset about that. They think that I'm just this reseller scalper person, but they don't realize that I've been collecting for years. And to have a collection like I got, and a lot of you can attest to that, to have a pretty good sized collection, you don't get it by passing up games that are worth money. You are a smart person, you pick them up, sell them, and then make money to add on to your collection. It's just the obvious thing to do. I accept the fact that the dislikes that I get on my live videos are from the people without the Git Factor. And you know what? That's completely fine. Because like I said, I got too many of you out there who support what I do. You love this channel. You love these types of videos. And you know that I'm doing nothing wrong. I am a huge fan of all things video games. I am a lover of anything to do with anything about video games. As a lot of you already know, I'm not trying to hurt this hobby. That's one of the biggest thing that kills me right there, is they'll say that this is bad for the hobby. Are you fucking kidding me? More light has never been shined down as hard as it has here lately in the past 4 or 5 years with retro game collecting than I've ever seen. And it's because of, obviously, the price skyrocketing with these games. So that's going to draw a whole lot of attention to this. Now keep in mind, I've been collecting way before that. And, I'm happy to say that, I've collected before games were, crazily expensive. But, I got extremely happy when the price went up, because, what I thought in my head? I was like, well, damn. I'm knowledgeable with games. I bet you I can grow a hell of a collection now that they're expensive as shit, and I can go out there and flip a few, which is exactly what I did, and a lot of you already know I got a collection that's pretty damn good size. How many Beanie Baby collectors out there do you think were all pissed off when everybody started getting in on their market and getting all these awesome Beanie Babies to flip for a higher dollar? That way they couldn't get them for such a super cheap price and have them on their shelves. It's the same thing, but you know what the difference is between that hobby and this hobby? This hobby's still going, and it's not broken in a year like that one was. This is a hobby that's going to go on for many years, and the fact that it is still demanding such a high prices for these games, as long as people are still paying them, the hobby is going to thrive. And that's what we need, people. We need this hobby to go through the roof, because there has never been so much attention. Why do you think that there's things like the NES Classic Edition or the SNES Classic Edition or the N64 future Classic Edition coming out is because they see that there's so much interest towards this retro gaming that it's surfaced. So no, we're not hurting the hobby by reselling games. We're growing this hobby. We're shining light on this hobby. So sit down and shut the hell up with all that salty drama. And I know that I have bitched and rant for the past 10 minutes, but you know what? This rant has been coming, and I didn't want to do it, but you know what? I just found myself talking, and I'm glad that it is off my chest, because every video I hold back. I want to talk about it, and I let it slip a little bit, but man, I had to let it loose on this one. The only thing this is hurting is the people who don't have that Git Factor, who don't want to get their ass up out of bed. They don't want to have that motivation and drive. And yeah, it's competition. Shit, I admit that every video. I always got competition out there. I don't hate them for it. They're doing exactly the same shit I'm doing, and I salute them for it. Some people that I know have some amazing collections, and because they're doing the same thing that I'm teaching you guys. But that's it, people. I'm not going to bitch like that anymore. I apologize for the last 10 minutes of just ranting about this situation. But it's been a long time coming. I wanted to get that off my chest for a long time. And like I said, I think that's why a lot of you guys support this channel, is because I'm not scared to say it. I am a firm believer of reselling anything for profit. There is no problem with that. Now, obviously, there's people in this world that scalp the shit out of things, and yes, there are issues with that, and I don't find that morally something to salute. But for the decent common folk who's just doing this to grow their collection, maybe make a few extra bucks on the side, highly support it. Carry on, my wayward son. But anyways, back to the pickups. No more bitching, I'm done. 25 awesome games, and all I paid was 45 bucks. That was an excellent pickup right there, because like I said, I'm going to resell some of these games and get a whole lot of games for my collection at a very cheap price, and that is what it's all about. So I was very happy about this said pickup. And of course, I gotta remind you, stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'll go over all these pickups individually so you can see exactly everything that I got. This next pickup right here was pretty good. I was happy about it. I ended up coming across the Island of Dr. Frankenstein for the Wii. Nothing special or expensive or anything, but it was a Wii game that I did not have, and you know I love to collect for that system. Now you'll see it says DVD sale $1. All games had individual prices on there, but the prices were not bad. You see, like I said, this one said $3, and I come across Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for the PlayStation 2, an excellent bundler game right there to help move a system if you're having trouble, and I actually got it and the Wii game right there for $3, so it was a good deal. I paid $1.50 for both games. I got one game to bundle, and I got one game to keep in my collection. That was a pretty good pickup right there. And for the final pickup of the week, I come across this stack of games. Nothing special, but I do see Blinks the Time Sweeper. It's an exclusive for the original Xbox. She had $3 on there. I offered her $2. That's a great deal. It's about a $10, $12 game, and I was not 100% sure if I didn't have this game already. But it's great because, like I said, I got people who look for original Xbox game exclusives, so if I don't have it, they can get it.
Alright guys, so just like always, we're going to go over all this stuff individually, and if I can remember anything about it, I'm going to, tell you. If not, we're just going to kind of zoom through it, because the stuff is never in any particular order. It's always scattered around. Before that, let me go ahead and break this news to you guys. I'm not sure there's going to be that many videos in the next week or so. The reason for that, and I'm very excited for this, is I'm pretty sure we're moving. I know a lot of you guys out there know that I've been waiting for that for quite some time, and we are moving to a place that is literally twice the size of where we are now. That is awesome. And you know what that means? You know what the big deal about that is? It's a bigger game room. Everybody knows that my game room is too damn small. It is unreal how I fit so much in this game room. And the game room, the future game room over there, is actually going to be very cool. It's going to be a lot bigger. It's still not a huge room, but it's a lot fucking bigger than what I got here. I'm super nervous about this move. I've never moved anything like this. You guys got any tips on moving thousands of games? Let me know, because it's got me kind of nervous, but I'm excited about this. But the whole thing is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be pumping out, the weekly videos. Now, obviously, our live video is going to come. If I don't have one this coming up Saturday, I'm going to make sure I have one the following Saturday. We may just be 1 week without it. That, you guys got to live with that. Give me some slack. I am literally moving, so it's going to be hard on me. I got a lot of stuff to do. So hopefully it'll go easy on me. I'm going to try to give y'all updates on all this, because I'm sure you want to see the transition of all this going, and I'm going to try to give you the best transitional videos that I can. Like I said, follow me on Instagram. I'm going to try to post more pictures on that. I'm excited to see what this room looks like with nothing in it. It's going to be weird. It's going to be freaky. And then we're going to see how this new game room sets up. And it's going to be this whole, I might make this like little vlog series on actually setting up this new game room. So I'm excited about it. I'm pretty sure we're moving. I'm pretty set on it. Actually, after this video is made, I think we're working on it. But anyways, guys, that's the news right there. And do not hate me for not putting out, you know, a few videos this week. Because, you know, typically I do three videos a week, sometimes more. And especially the live video at the end of the week. This may be an exception. I'm going to try to give y'all some update videos, but I don't know if we're going to have a live video at the end of the week. If anything, I'm going to have some footage. I'm going to always try to shekel. The following video may be twice as long just to make up for that. But guys, I'm excited. But anyways, let's go over all these pickups. I wanted to give you guys that news, so if you don't see a video next week or any videos throughout the week, don't bitch at me, you know, because I'll get, you know, questions or comments. If these videos are late, they'll be like, where's the video at, man? Cut me some slack, man. I'm going to be a busy man. But anyways, we're going to go over all these pickups individually. Like I said, if I can remember anything, I'll tell you. If not, we're just going to kind of zoom through it. Damn, there's always a lot. I actually thought this was going to be a sucky week, but it turned out to be pretty decent. Let's see. This was that first pickup we got that I paid $35 for. We got Tom and Jerry House Trap, and inside it is also Ape Escape 3, so that was good right there. That's going to pay for, you know, close to half of it right there. And then we got, you know, it's not a common game, it's Pajama Sam for the PlayStation 1. I didn't have it, so that was cool. So I also got other games, and I didn't pay $35 for that shit. You crazy. We got Scooby-Doo and the Spooky Swamp. I'm not sure. I don't think this is exclusive. It's not. I'm going to sell it to recoup some cost. Agatha, Evil Under the Sun. This is not. I already got this, so that one's up for grabs. Kirby's Epic Yarn, which is one that I think I got someone who wants that. We got one that I did not have, which KO Round 2 Kangaroo. One I didn't have, exclusive. One resell, I'm pretty sure, because if it's not exclusive, I may already have it. I'm not sure. I'm excited about this new place, guys. Like, the new room, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to have a bigger area. I don't know if you can tell the excitement, but I'm nervous, I'm scared, and I'm happy at the same time. Alright, The Legend of Spyro, New Beginning. Metro 2030. If you've never played any of the Metro series, get off your ass and fucking play this series. It's awesome. They're short games. They don't take long, 8 or 9 hours to beat, but they are excellent. Very good games. I love these types of games. And that new Metro that's coming out looks very good. And then finally, we got the Ultimate Board Game Collection. Nothing special. I paid $35 for all that. It was a pretty good deal. This was my favorite pickup of the week. This one I am very excited for. This is the Gamester Radica controller. For the original Xbox. They made one for the PlayStation 2. You know that I'm a big collector of the original Xbox. This is trippy, man. This is very cool. Notice the buttons on the inside. This was before that was an actual thing, before you can really, you know, they have, what are the controllers now, like the Xbox One Elite, and, you know, the controllers where you can put the little paddles on the inside. It was a little bit advanced for its time. It feels terrible. I don't think I'd ever play with that. But that is just very unique. Look at the pistol grips. I think that is absolutely stunning. And it has the dongle that matches the cord. Very important. I paid $9 for that. It's like a $40 controller, I think. I'm very happy to add that to my collection. You know I love the original Xbox. Very awesome. For $10, we got us a PlayStation 2 Slim. It's a little scratched up. And it's got a PlayStation 1 controller. You don't need to see that in the hookups. There's no reason to show you all that. $10 is a pretty good deal. That's about the max I'm willing to pay for a PlayStation 2. Same with a Wii. You know, they typically sell for like $50 on a good day. So that's $10 I'm okay with. Plus the PlayStation 2 Slims, if you happen to sell them online, they're very small. They don't weigh as much as the big old fat boy. So that's good. Alright, at a yard sale, you didn't see this on camera, but I picked up this thing. It says $2. It was not $2. I paid closer to like 50 cents for it, because I think I got 2 items for $1. This is one of them. It's this little NASCAR arcade thing. It works. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I just thought that was neat. 50 cents. I'll buy that. That's cool. It's cool to sit on the shelf. Yeah, it's, you know, sports, but that's just cool. It looks neat. I buy what I want, man. I don't give a damn. Alright, let's see. Now, yeah, this will be the... Well, no, it's not the final. There's one... Well, it's somewhere in here. It was. Fuck it. I got 25 games here to go through. You obviously saw that was the majority of the pickups in the video when I was bitching. And again, I apologize for that. But we're going to go over all these videos. Let me announce the winner to the weekly contest giveaway, man. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Niners fan 666. You are the winner. You have been chosen randomly. It's awesome. I'm glad you got it too, because I know that you are a supporter of this channel, and that always, you know, makes me happy. When I put it in the randomizer and I saw it pop up, I was like, oh yeah, I know he comments all the time. Happy for you, man. Niners fan 666. Send me a message. If you can, do it on Instagram. It's a little bit easier. If you really want to do it, send it on eBay. That'll be a lot easier. You got $20 credit to my store, meaning if there's a $20 game, you get it free. It's that simple. If there's a $30 game, you get it for 10 bucks. I don't know how to explain it to you. Just message me. It works. The last person, he got hooked up pretty well. Let me know. Congrats, man. If you want to be entered for the next contest, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, hopefully something positive. Share the video if you want to, you know, go that extra mile. If you really want to go the extra mile, check out my buddy Wittypox's channel. I grew up with this guy. We're trying to get his channel to move along. He's this little hatchling that needs to hatch into this wonderful person. He's funny. He's got the same humor as I do. We used to smoke a lot of dope together. But he's funny, man. Wittypox, Wittypox. Check him out. Leave a like. Say Renebean sent you. Alright, back to these 25 games here that we got to go over with the pickups. I paid $45 for these 25 games. Some of these I'm going to resell. A lot of them I'm going to keep. Ghostbusters, the video game. That one's going to be sold. Ants Extreme Racing. It's weird about these little racing games, and there's a few of them in here, like, I think there's a Shrek kart racing. They can be pretty damn fun, believe it or not. And I don't know if this is exclusive or not, but I took the risk. I'm not worried about it if it's not. Ants Extreme Racing. R Racing Evolution. I don't know why I picked that one up, honestly. I picked this up because it was sealed. I thought that was cool, and I love my original Xbox. And I don't think I have this one, honestly, as New Legends. I'm going to put that since it's sealed over here. Time Crysis 2, and I'm actually looking. Fuck. I don't have it. That's good. It's awesome. Alright, Star Trek Encounters. That's another one. Here's that other racing game, Shrek Smash and Crash Racing, fucking on the go. Genji, Dawn of the Samurai. Here's one for the original Xbox I didn't have. You know I love collecting that system. Malice, that actually looks pretty damn cool. Kind of reminds me of like a lollipop chainsaw before its time. I don't know why. Alright, we got Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds. Nothing serious, but I think I'm going to resell that one because it is on Xbox if I'm not mistaken. X-Men Next Dimension. We got X Squad right here. Nothing special, but I don't believe that's on original Xbox. We got Brave, The Search for the Spirit Dancer. It seems absolutely riveting. And then we got only on Xbox. Anytime you see that exclusivity right there, pick them up, man. UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship Tap Out too. A little bit of water damage on the outer, but for what I paid for these games, it was like $1.80 per game. Excellent deals, man. Got a whole other bag to go through right here. This is a resale game right here, which is Onimusha 2. One that I don't know if I have this one. That's what's crazy about this collection. I'm going to be glad when we move, when we get everything actually like presentable, I can see exactly all what I got. Classified, the Sentinel Crysis. Swing Away Golf, PlayStation 2. Headhunter Redemption for the original Xbox. I didn't have it. Mark Echo's Getting Up. Not sure if I got it. Anytime you see me looking over here, I'm looking on my shelves to see if I got it, because it's when you're out in the wild, I can't remember, and I haven't taken any updated pictures of my collection to see, because that's a good tip. Instead of having like some crazy list that takes you hours to implement, just take a picture of your shelf and then pull it up on your phone while you're out in the wild. Do you have that game? Zoom in and see. Aqua for the PlayStation 2. RTX Red Rock. Tribes Aerial Assault. Funny thing about this game, first time I ever played any of the Tribes, I think it was the first one on PC. I never played PC gaming much. That was way back in the day. Pretty damn cool. I was pretty blown away by it. Let's see. This was separate. We got Eve of Extinction. Astro Boy. Let's see. We got the final three here. Army Men, Soldiers of Misfortune. Misfortune, honestly. Pipe Mania. And Sprint Cars Road to Knoxville. Now, had this been, I think it's a standard Sprint Cars, that's pricey ass game. I got it up there. You've seen it in a few pickup videos before. I've actually been finding it. This is an exclusive PlayStation 2. It's not as expensive as its counterpart, but still a good one to pick up. Let's see. I picked this up for, it says $3, but I paid $2, which was Blinks the Time Sweeper. Unsure if I had it. If I don't, it can go to someone that I know, and actually I do see it, so it's up for grabs. $2 for an exclusive original Xbox game. Let's see, for $3, I got both of these. I got the Island of Dr. Frankenstein, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Excellent, bundler right there. And then finally, I got Final Fantasy 13 for the Xbox 360. It's one I didn't have. I think I paid like $2 or $3 for that. Didn't pay much. That's it, guys. That's all I got for the pickups. It's a pretty good week. I don't know what the future holds, guys. I'm nervous about it. You could tell in my voice and the way I'm acting. I hope this move works, and it's not a bad decision. I think it's going to be great. We're going to have twice the everything. I'm excited to work on this game room, but at the same time, like, fuck, that's going to be a whole lot of work. But like I said, if you got any tips, let me know in the comments below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. And updates are coming. I'm not going to forget about you guys. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.